Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. Here. The lion. New man so funny. Kirk Cousins.
All right.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, back again with the Roundtable. And we are here with you 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. And you know who I'm here with. You know I'm here with the usual suspects. The host of Diversity with Delilah Crespo.
Woo!
Yeah. And Mr. Nick, I want the smoke, Rosario.
That's right, folks. It's Tuesday, and it's cloudy with a chance of something.
Oh, yeah. Definitely so, but glad you are back with us again on this Tuesday, day after all of the NFL games have come to an end. And you know, truth be told, there's a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of things that happened. We know certain trades came out. Cam came home. Washington beat the GOAT. All positive things.
That's right.
All positive things.
All good.
One place we do want to go. We want to go ahead and just dive right into it right now. OBJ and Von Miller both get traded to the Rams. Wow. Nick, I'm coming to you first, man. What does this mean for the Rams? Now, all things considering, we know what happened last night. You know, he didn't get, you know, but we didn't. Me personally, I didn't expect him to be getting a lot of touches last night. He's just learning the playbook. But he definitely has to get in where he fits in. What do you think, Nick?
Okay. I don't want this to come across as but doesn't this kind of reek of almost close, not quite, but like LA trying to stack the deck a little bit in their favor in that sense with getting Von Miller to an already good defense. You know, I get it. Hey, you go where they tell you to, right? They made a deal. They got Von Miller. I'm not hating against them, but I'm saying this is a team that is on the cusp of really reaching that next level, right? Yep. So what do? You grab as many weapons as possible. And this is how super teams get started. But the fact is, Von could absolutely help on defense. Yeah. Again, Monday night notwithstanding, these guys just joined the team, as you said. It was very apparent by the first throw to OBJ, where apparently he went the wrong direction or improvised and then went through an interception because he wasn't where he was supposed to be. So that's one of those things where, they're going to have to develop some sort of chemistry. Again, he just joined the team this week. Right. So, but, and I know the OBJ haters will be like, oh, see, this is not going to work already, blah, 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 blah. Give it, I may not be the biggest OBJ fan, but give it a little time, folks. Let's give them a chance to get to know each other, get some practices in, and I'm sure they'll put in some plays for OBJ this week. Like, just calm down. But again, LA, I think, is going for it, and I still think, they're the best team to me still in the NFC right now, even though Tommy Two-Tone and all the, they had a loss this past weekend to the aforementioned Sean Spencer's favorite team, and again, Green Bay, they won fine, but, to me, they still don't look spectacular. Like that game against Seattle was trash, to be honest with you. It was 3-0 up until 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So, I still think the Rams are the front runner there. And, this just adds to them and helps. Eventually, these should be things that help. Again, it's an 8-game experiment with OBJ and Von Miller. If they don't help you in the 8 games that they're with you this year, then next year you cut them loose. Nobody's the difference. It's fine.
Absolutely.
So to me, this is an experiment you take. This is a chance you take. These are guys who could potentially help you, especially in a playoff run, and that's where you're headed. So to me, I have no problem with it. Again, you go where you're told, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. It's a great move. It's a great. Look, at the end of the day, he's gonna benefit the team. He definitely is going to benefit the team. But I don't think this was more of the game side of things. I think, Delilah, and maybe, I don't know, let me know what you think about this. I think maybe it was about market. We saw what he did in the New York market, which if they love you, they're all about you. But if they hate you, they are your worst enemy. And then let's be honest, Cleveland outside of LBJ does not have a market. You know what I mean? So now he is literally in LA, so doing his thing out there or getting out there. But it's more now he can get his brand out there. Now he can do that. I mean, what do you think, Delilah?
I think that one, I love all the memes that are coming up already with his face, but honestly, that's just his face. And I understand because sometimes, but I honestly think that I remember like this happened with Ocho Cinco and T.O. Like it's just certain players that just rub people the wrong way, right? Because they're just outspoken, they say stuff. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just that he's always gonna draw controversy because he's always gonna say things you may not like. You might, and now it's different because now you have social media, so you might tweet something you don't agree with or whatever. And so I just think that I agree with Nick's assessment is he just got there, and someone else commented he just had like 2 days of practice. Von Miller just got there like the week before, and I just think they haven't found this rhythm. I do think they're going to use this bye week 100% because they do have a coach that knows what he's doing. And so like I 100% this bye week is going to be that, right? Working on their chemistry. How do we get Von Miller to click with that defense? Because that used to be the number one defense, and they're kind of like, right, they haven't played like that Rams defense we're used to.
Right, especially not yesterday.
And so they're going to work on that, right? Yeah. And then they're going to make sure that Matt and OBJ have reps over this next week before like their big game against Green Bay, especially, right? They know the next time that they play, they're playing a playoff contender, right? They're going to go and play against Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, right? And so they know that they're not to step up their game because if they lost to teams that weren't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate saying like bad teams because it's still an NFL team, but still, right? They still lost to teams that we all assume would be W's. And so I think that they're going to take that time to recalibrate. And I don't think it's going to be the same Rams team that comes in.
I agree.
Week 12.
Yeah.
That we saw the past 2 weeks. That's all.
Yeah. I think, and David Wright, I think he hit the nail on the head. I think they have enough vets to keep him in line, much like AB.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's going to be a big part of that because they're not going to tolerate it. Look, we know about Ramsey. We know about Aaron Donald. Cooper Kupp is playing good. And even though Woods is out, he's still a leader on that team.
Absolutely.
So they have, and obviously Stafford, they have enough people to kind of keep him in line. So let's, give him time. I agree with what you guys are saying. Definitely give him time. Now, I do, speaking of teams that definitely made moves, because, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't expect these things to happen. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, OBJ, we've been following that story and everything that's been going on with that, and we definitely weren't. If you would have asked us a week ago, do you think OBJ is going to the Rams? We were like, I don't know. But now there was somebody else that came home. And he's filling in for the replacement of the replacement's replacement of him. Mr. Cam Newton returns to Carolina. Nick, what do you think about this, man?
Can I? Well, you know what? I think it's
like for half a second, like
absolutely tremendous that Cam Newton ends up. He is literally going to become the comeback player of the year, literally, because he came back to the same spot.
Yeah,
my vote for comeback player of the year, Cam Newton. But listen, in all seriousness, this just shows you, though, sometimes it really does just how fickle the NFL is, right? Because why did they get rid of Cam in the first place? Right? He was done. Right. He wasn't done. He was done. We're past this. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to move on. Yada, yada. Let's rebuild. Okay, fine. Rebuild. Bring in Teddy Bridgewater, right? We're going to rebuild. Didn't quite work. Well, we're bringing in Sam Darnold. After 3 games, he crapped the bed. So that Sam Darnold, then he gets hurt. Then it's PJ Walker. So now you're going, we got PJ Walker. And what else do we have? Nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Look who's out there, just sitting there waiting for a job.
Yeah.
Our old pal Cam Newton. How you doing? Well, this is why I say these the NFL is such a funny league, especially this year. But there's so much parity. There's so much going on. Teams are winning every week who shouldn't be winning. Like, everything's all over the place. And this just shows you what anything can happen. Because the last place you would have thought Cam would have ended up is back where he is.
Right. Absolutely.
And then he comes in, scores a touchdown, right? Throws a touchdown, whatever, had 2 touchdowns. Team wins. Big win just to be honest. Huge win for them to put them back at 500, which put them back in the playoff picture. I believe they're the 6th seed now in the NFC, if I looked at that.
With Atlanta's loss.
Yeah, so there you go, my friend. You've now put Carolina back into the playoff picture, and guess who will start next week? Mr. Cam Newton. So now you're handing him the ball back.
But that's going to be interesting.
Well, no, it will be. But again,
it's definitely going to be interesting.
What sometimes when you need something that badly, what do? You will do anything.
Right.
And that's exactly what Carolina did. And
they did. They did. They actually they came back around. They were made to eat their words, And look, let's be honest. Darnold obviously had those first 3 games against terrible opponents that we see now.
Remember talking about that.
And then he now is better. Thank you. I didn't know if you remember, but yeah, now he's better. Now he's getting this. Darnold's out. He's getting the opportunity to get in here. I was never sold on PJ Walker, but Delilah, let me ask you this. Nick alluded to Cam. They've taken first team snaps. Do you think that's a good idea to have Cam go in there starter? Or, what they've been doing with PJ Walker being the starter and then Cam coming in for a little dose of energy. What do you think?
I actually do like what they were doing. Like, I know David doesn't for obvious reasons. Because
shout out to him for keeping CMC.
I get it, right? When it comes down to fantasy football, it becomes personal because you're trying to win points. But I did like that because it worked, right? And one thing that, Cam can run. We know that, right? That's basically when he came in the game, it wasn't the first one, but he really was he's one of those first he came out with those class of quarterbacks that we started seeing that were mobile. They weren't just passing, right? And so, and now basically all the kids coming out of college, that's how they learn, right? To be a quarterback. You got to mobile. You got to run. He's not just passing. He did it. He did it this game, right? He did it.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, David. Even if he can't run 50 yards, if all you need him for is goal line work, then what does it matter if he can really run?
So I think that I like that. From what I've read, he's getting reps, but Carolina themselves have said they're not. That doesn't mean necessarily that they're not starting PJ though, right? However, you also don't want, if you are going to put him at quarterback, it would be stupid not having practicing with those guys, because if you do decide to start him, you're going to want him to know your offense, right? It would be stupid as shit, to sit back and well, here's Cam Newton, a quarterback. I'm not going to make sure he gets no reps and gets to learn our offense and knows what's going on. That would be completely dumb. So does he start? I don't know. I do kind of like the idea of kind of switching it around. Also, I think he would act as a foil for McCaffrey, honestly, right? Is it going to go to McCaffrey or are they going to sneak Cam in? And then obviously we know they could do play fakes, right? Because Cam could pass. So is it Cam catching the ball or is he going to get the ball and pass it to McCaffrey? That would be dope. Right. You see, things like that,
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Fun, exciting things like that means that your defense will then have to be more strategic, right? Because they're are they going to pass to McCaffrey? Or are they going to pass it to Cam? Is Cam going to be the quarterback? Is it PJ Walker? So I think it'd just be fun, honestly, to be serious. I think they could have a lot of fun with it. I'm hoping that they don't just start him, and I hope that they keep up with this kind of okay, let's see if we can confuse the defense, right? Let's see if we can confuse our opponents by doing some really fun plays, because PJ Walker's proving himself too, right? He was out there doing his thing. I don't think,
Look, hey, Cam is a shot in the arm. Cam is definitely a shot in the arm.
So,
gotta hit David saying his legs are failing him before they let him go. Listen, I don't know if you saw his stats last year, Dave, but he had over 500 yards rushing. I think it was 592, and he had 12 rushing touchdowns. His legs aren't done. He can still ball, especially if he gets the right system. And who have you been talking about this entire time, David? CMC. CMC is the thing that made, when a couple games he played, what made Darnold look decent. And then Darnold had to survive by himself when CMC was out. Now having Cam and CMC in that backfield, guys, I think it's going to be kind of similar to RG3 and Alfred Morris. You know what I mean? You're scared of one threat, so you maybe pay a little more attention over here, and then this guy benefits from that. So, Nick, do you think that he should start, or
you want to hear the crazy part? I think he should. And again, for all the reasons we were just talking about, because even if you game plan for PJ Walker, let's be honest, PJ Walker doesn't have a lot of experience in the NFL anyways. So like most guys with inexperience, that's an easier defense to plan for, because all you got to do is put some pressure on him and he folds like a card table.
Right.
That's for a lot of rookie quarterbacks. What's the big thing? Put pressure on him. Make him make decisions. Make him, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. But again, even with the bad offensive line, if you have a quarterback that's mobile, you can work around that.
There you go.
He's
not dropping back and doing 6 and 7 step drops. Like, he's not Big Ben. He's not these guys that are. Yeah, he's going to be doing read option. The problem is we all knew what he was going to do whenever he came in. We knew if he's around the goal line, they're running the ball. But can you stop him? Yeah. The man had 12 rushing touchdowns. Come on. I know he is not what he used to be. But
we all know that.
I think
that doesn't mean he still can't go. And that's the thing.
Look,
the only reason
the Panthers weren't great.
He's out of New England is because they got Mac Jones.
And what about that defense? What about that defense? We can't sleep on that Panthers defense. Look, if we judge the team on how Sam Darnold did, I think that's an issue. Okay, we know they have injury issues, but we already seen Cam shot in the arm. Okay, he gives the team an energy, and you got CMC back there. Look, I'm not sitting here saying these guys are going to the Super Bowl. Okay?
Right, that's not what we're saying.
That's not what we're saying at all.
He's the most sacked in the last 5 years. Right, but what are we talking about right now? Don't change the argument. We're talking about him running the ball. Belichick ran the ball with him. That worked. We know how that offense was. Yes. I think they're going to go to that same thing because they're going to use Cam a lot. And you have CMC. He's gonna hide some of the issues of Cam. Personally, that's where I think we are.
Checkoff too. Even if Cam gets in trouble, who's your checkoff? CMC. And 9 out of 10 times he catches the ball and runs for some yards. So there's plenty, and you still have DJ Moore. And Robbie Anderson, did you see the smile on his face when he scored that touchdown? It was almost like he was a kid at Christmas going, yes, I got the present I've always wanted. Cam Newton is back. He will throw me the ball. I'm sure he will. So Robbie Anderson's happy. DJ Moore will be happy.
Nathan, Matt Rule's first year was last year.
Yeah,
Cam was gone before that.
Cam. Right.
Cam he didn't cut Cam. Come on now.
Simmer down.
Cam knows 3. Hey, look, he knows 3 plays to get. Hey, but if it works, hey, there it is. But look, we have to move on. We absolutely have to move on. Carolina did come. Cam Newton did return to Carolina, and Washington plays them next. Speaking of Washington, we need
here we go, baby.
Sit here and address the elephant in the room. My guy, Chase Young, out for the season. Torn ACL. Definitely.
That hurts.
Okay.
That hurts.
Yeah. It definitely does. But we also have Montez Sweat out. So bittersweet. We did get the victory, but it's definitely bittersweet. But I do got to show something. Nathan Snell actually came on and predicted it. He wanted me to show this. Let me show you guys.
You'll be surprised, Abs. The Washington football team is going to upset Tampa Bay 27-24.
Guaranteed. Stop it, Skip Bayless. You are not going to sock there in that
chair. I think the Washington football team can surprise Tom Brady. I'm saying that with my chest.
You socked right there and said that with your chest, didn't you? You socked and said that whole thing. No, he not. Now, how you going to beat the GOAT? 6th round draft pick out of Michigan. Nobody gave him a chance. Then you gonna come out and you said that right out your mouth with a straight face to the Washington Red. Don't get me wrong, the Washington football team, they got the man with the quarterback, his name sound like a beer. That the man the Heineken in it. That's what you drinking right now, ain't it, Al? You drinking a Heineken.
Yeah.
You said that right out your mouth. Stop it. You know what? I'm telling you what's gonna happen on Sunday. TB12 gonna come out on that field. He gonna serve up some hot L's on the plate. No disrespect to your Ab.
Yeah, buddy. So yeah, hey, Nathan called it. Absolutely called it. Anthony Handy, who definitely came on the show Monday and stole the show. Hey, these two got a show that they're starting up on Friday. I'm not exactly sure what time it is. These guys are taking over the market. They're taking over the game. They're dominating, man. Shout out to them for sure.
That's funny.
But yeah, he definitely called that one. Hey, I'm glad we got the W. Look, Bobby's saying, "Shut up, Skip."
Shut up, Skip.
So, hey, shout out to him. Hey, 6:30 on Friday. He said
Okay,
6:30 on Friday. All right, him and Anthony, man. Anthony, I know he was in here. Zagnef Productions. They're killing it, man. I'm telling you. So no doubt. Now, yeah, I can't talk about this too much. It stinks. But at the same time, hey, get out, get yourself ready, come back. Yeah, don't rush back. Let's just relax. Let's definitely relax. Oh man, what up, Wendy? Saying what's going on, gang? How you doing, Wendy?
Hey, Wendy, how are you?
Oh, shout out to Bobby Wills saying Miami Dolphins on the road to victory. Yeah.
Sure they are, Bobby.
I can dig it. Well, yeah, so hey, we did get the W, but at what cost? David was saying I sold my soul. I had to get the dick. I had to beat the GOAT.
Man.
You know how it is. You know how it is. But we definitely have to move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the longest running segment on Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable, Diversity with Delilah. Yeah. And this week, Delilah, Mel Blount, safety, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. Anyway, one thing I wanted to say was just how funny it was that a rule was created because of this man, right? The Mel Blount rule. And so and so that's one of the things that kind of made me think about this. And it really did change. This rule did change the game, right? Everybody had to adjust, right? Like he was so ferocious that they changed the rule, and people will call it the Mel Blount rules from now on, which eliminated contact with receivers 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, right? Yeah, right. And so that was a big change. Yeah, I know. If you want to add some more of the tidbits I can't find, because I try to find as much as I can, but he's very, I couldn't, there was, basically everybody was in the same kind of similar stance. So yeah, he was part of that. Everyone knows he was part of that dominant, right, Steelers defense from the 70s. And so basically he's a Georgia boy, by the way, born and raised in Georgia.
Wow.
So yeah, he's the early years of his life, wasn't great. He lived on a farm in Georgia, was born in, poverty and stuff like that. But that didn't mean he didn't excel in sports. Even in high school, he played multiple sports, right? He started baseball, football, basketball, even track. Wow. He got a scholarship to Southern University at, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. While there, he was a Pro Scouts All-American pick as both safety and cornerback. Wow. So he excelled. Playing for Southern University, Blount made the Southwestern Athletic Conference All-Conference team twice, and was selected SWAC Most Valuable Player his junior year. Crazy thing is that he was 53rd overall pick because he was picked in the 3rd round in 1970 by the Steelers. So again, that's why I say in football, it doesn't matter what number you're picked necessarily, right? We know that we've seen it before. I know we hype up, and I get it, right? The 1st round pick, who's gonna go 10, right? But sometimes these guys who get picked way later, no one ever thinks about, just come out and just shine. Right. They just come out and they're like, all right, that's cool. Don't worry. I know I'm going this number, but I'm gonna come out and prove myself. So he became the starter for this Steelers secondary, but in his season, he didn't allow a single touchdown. Okay, so basically that season in 1972, he himself, that I mean other players did it, but he himself, he couldn't get around this dude. Blount was equally effective playing either zone or man-to-man defense. He's a 4-time Super Bowl champ, right? We know he's part of that, that Steelers team that dominated.
Oh yeah.
Basically, his method was the bump and run pass defense, right? That's basically what he was known for. It's very difficult for you to be a wide receiver and try to get past this dude. Yeah. And again, that's why they created the rule, right? Yep. He went to multiple Pro Bowls, which makes a hell of sense, right? Basically, what he said was it made him laugh when they created the rule because all he did was adjust. Yep. He's like, all he did, he's like, all right, that's cool. You're gonna eliminate that. And what did he do? They went and won 2 more Super Bowls after that, right? So it didn't matter. Yeah. It didn't matter.
He's a monster.
Yeah, so it didn't matter. So he was like, that's fine, whatever. I'll adjust. He adjusted, and the Steelers won 2 more Super Bowls after that, even with the change in this rule. So he retired in 1983 with 57 interceptions, 13th in the NFL, 736 return yards. He intercepted at least 1 pass in all of his 14 seasons, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's nice.
Yep. Topped the league in interceptions in 1975, where he won Defensive Player of the Year. He also picked off 3 passes in the Super Bowl competitions, including 2 thrown by Hall of Fame quarterback Roger Staubach.
Roger Staubach, no doubt.
Yep. So he also picked off even while he was in the Super Bowl, right? So again, this dude was a beast. I already said it. 4-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time first team All-Pro, 4-time second team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowl, NFL interception leader, as I said, in 1975. Named to the NFL 1980s All-Decade Team, the NFL 75th Anniversary All-Time Team, the NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team, Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor in 2017, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in 1989, as well as the Pro Football Hall of Fame 1989. He was inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 1990 and into the Black College Football Hall of Fame in 2011.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
So, like,
a lot.
Yeah, dude was a beast. And again, they changed the rules of the football game because of this.
That'll do it.
Bobby said, "Can I say that Delilah sounds like Gloria Rosie Perez? Is that wrong?"
Wow.
Let's go. Here's a little slow. 70 still curtain. Better than 85 Bears, don't it?
I know. Don't worry about
it. Only reason I will agree is because we're talking about four years, 4 separate years.
Sure, they killed it.
As opposed to 1 year.
Well,
so it's not the same argument. So
I get it.
Correct.
I'm never gonna argue that.
No.
I'm never gonna argue that.
So hey, shout out to Delilah. Hey, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on Mel Blount. I love him. Changed the game. Was a stud. Feared. I think is the best. I mean, as far as safeties, she feared. She definitely was feared. Yo, got to shout out my guy Jay. He had said he meant to say she does know her stuff.
Oh,
he said doesn't, but I was like, what? And then she said she does. Yeah. So he said yeah.
I was like, I spent my time doing
right.
I'm like cross-check, cross-reference. I check notes.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, that's my guy. He was definitely saying she knows her stuff. And that's definitely been.
I was like, what did I say wrong? I really did check 5
Yeah, he just made that mistake on there. But he's definitely in it. Oh, for sure. And everybody has said they've only spoken highly of diversity with Delilah. So
I always check my sources.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Definitely going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. We are at week 10? Is this week 11?
Well, week 11 is coming up, sir.
Yeah, so week 10 is done. Yeah, week 11 is here. And as my 2 co-hosts talked about a couple weeks ago, this is when you can start figuring out who if you start understanding teams, you start knowing who they are, you know, the playoffs and whatnot. So we are going to go into a new segment on the show where we're going to talk about which teams are in the hunt, which teams are out of the hunt. And a segment we like to call In or Out.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
That's right. You tell him, Jim. You tell him.
Shout out to my guy Jim Moore talking about playoffs. And the funny thing about it is he actually, between the Colts and the Saints, he actually had them going. He was a great coach. Him and his son got some good years. So he brought that Saints team to, I think, their first playoffs in team history. Franchise history.
Might have been, yeah.
In the late 80s. I mean, he had that Ford linebacker with Vaughn Johnson, Pat Swilling, Sam Mills, and Ricky Jackson. Yeah. You know what I mean? So definitely. So we are going to this next segment. It's called In or Out. Which teams will be making the playoffs? Delilah, I'm going to come to you first with the first team. And you tell me in or out and why you think so. The first team on this list that we'll see what they do. The New England Patriots. Are they in or out?
Man.
Or will they be in or
out? God, that's rough. I feel like, I'm really secure in like the seeds we're gonna talk later on, but I really am not comfortable with these bottom seeds because I feel like they could change or just drop off completely. Man.
Anthony said you'd be like, does that make me crazy?
I don't know. I don't think it's not crazy. I don't know if they'll go in at 6, maybe 7. I don't know. I feel maybe if they do, they'll take that. I don't know. If the Chargers turn it around, I think they can sneak in there number 7.
What about the Patriots?
That's what we're talking about, right? The Patriots?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Chargers.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I feel like Herbert can maybe turn it around, and I think maybe the Patriots do get in with the last wild card spot.
Okay, I like that. He said, "No, Mac is legit." Hey,
I'm not saying they won't go. I'm saying I just
don't disagree.
I just don't think they'll move higher in the seeds.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying maybe 7th. I said maybe they'll go with the last. I think maybe they'll go with the last spot.
Well, I see them being in. All right, Nick, we're coming to you. Minnesota Vikings.
I say out, and I'll tell you why. We talked about this in the beginning of the year that we felt that only one team would come out of the NFC North, and that would be the Green Bay Packers. And for now, I'm going to stick with that. I haven't seen anything consistently in Minnesota that tells me that they'll be able to come back and make the run that they necessarily need to make to get into that 6 or 7 spot in the playoffs. There is a lot of, and there's some unexpected teams. I don't expect, the Saints are kind of there. The Panthers are going to climb back in. Those are like the bottom teams of that 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 area. And I just think Minnesota I just personally, of what I've seen so far this year, don't think they have what it takes to crawl in there. Again, do they have some weapons? Sure. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins has played better this year. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, 18-2.
But they still come up short. They've still lost enough games where you go, eh. So to me, I say as of this week, no, they are out.
Okay. Cool. All right, Delilah, coming back to you. The Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders.
I know they're in the hunt.
They're currently 3rd at 5-4. But that division is only separated by the game.
Yeah, they're not right in the current standings, like in the NFL. They're not even in the top in any of the top seeds right now. They're in the hunt now. They're no longer even. They're not even 7. That spot.
Wow.
Number 7 is Chargers, and number 6 are the Patriots. So they're no longer even seated right now. They're in the hunt though. And I think yeah, I want them to, because I know last year was a heartbreaker, but I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's gonna happen what happened last season. I don't think they're gonna make it, man. That AFC, I feel for me, I think the AFC is harder to predict than the NFC, in my opinion. I think the NFC is pretty solid. Like, I'm pretty sure that the top 3 seeds will be going. You know what I'm saying? Like, those 3 seeds are currently the top 3, 100% are gonna go to the playoffs. But in the AFC side, I don't know. I think the fact that people allowed Bill Belichick into the playoffs was a mistake. I think that's really what it comes down to, because I feel he will take one of those 2 last spots. Like I said earlier, like I think it could take in. I think Raiders messed up, because now they have to compete just to be in there, because they're not even. They're not 4. They're not 5. They're in the hunt now. Like, they dropped off. And so and the Chargers are still in the hunt. And I don't know. I think Herbert. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I trust Herbert more. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I think that the Patriots and the Chargers might keep them out.
Could be.
I'm saying out. Hopefully not. I don't want them to be, because of the heartbreak that happened last season, but I think they're out. That's what I'm saying, David. I think y'all let Bill in, just like y'all let Tom Brady in last year.
Nice. Nick. All right.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, Nick.
Okay. And again, this has nothing to do with my long-standing rivalry with Sidney Swinton. But I'm going to say out for Pittsburgh. And here's what concerns me, honestly, about Pittsburgh. And it's Big Ben is a big part of it. I know he was out. He missed COVID. With the COVID thing, that's one thing. But there are times this year where Ben has looked slow, and the throws have not quite been there. Yes, they're in the hunt in their division. I know that right now, given what their record is. But that tie this week, like him not being there and them tying Detroit, that should not have happened. They still should have won that game. And there was plenty of opportunity to win that game, even in the overtime. And I think this is a thing with, you've got a great running back there in Najee Harris, obviously. And you still have some weapons at receivers, Deontay Johnson, Claypool. These guys can play. We know that. But as a whole, as a team, for some reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers just don't seem to have an identity. And they don't they don't seem to have that one thing that really jolts them and keeps them going. I mean, maybe that's Big Ben. But again, if this is what's going to happen, and again, you still have to protect Ben. I know people say, he's playing just fine, and he is.
So you think they can? You think they can make it?
No, I'm saying no.
Okay.
I'm saying I think in the end, Pittsburgh I think they're 4 or 5 right now as of today.
They are 5th.
TJ Watt is out indefinitely. I think there goes the season.
And that hurts the defense as well. And that's what I'm saying. As a team, they don't have an identity right now. And a lot of it probably does lie in Big Ben. But I'm just saying, I just don't feel confident right today, even though they're number 5 in the AFC. Again, you're talking about the Raiders, Chargers, Patriots, that sort of thing, Chiefs, all that stuff. Still a lot of that to go. We'll see if, Buffalo, you got to see if, anybody else catches fire. If they decides to get their head out of behind.
Yeah.
So to me, there's so much to be decided. The Ravens are still, in that division in the AFC North too. So there's so many questions. But as of today, I don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers making it. I'd say out.
You say out? Okay.
I say out.
Delilah going to the NFC. The New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I think they'll go. I don't think they'll go far though. I don't
think they'll go far. I like that.
I think they'll get in there. Like again, I think they'll get one of those last 2 spots like they did last season. I think they'll get one of those last 2 seeds, either 6 or 7, and then that's pretty much it. I think because if they go in at 6, they play. Let me see. If they do go in, they play Dallas.
The 6
if they
plays
go
the 3, the 4
yeah,
plays the 5, and the 2 plays
currently,
the 7.
sorry, it's not me, guys. I'm just saying Dallas is
Oh, yeah.
number 3 seed. I'm not saying that can't change, Dallas fans out there.
Right. Dallas fans.
NOLA is 6 currently, and if it continues like this, then they have to play Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, and if they go in, and if they go in 7, they'll have to play Arizona in the playoffs, right? These are playoff games. I just don't see them beating those 2 teams, even though they won. I know they're like, but this regular season, and remember we said it before, once playoffs start, all that stuff gets erased, right? And now these are playoff games. And so I just don't see NOLA with their, it's just, they don't have a quarterback, not really, right? See, I feel like that's the thing, like
famous Jameis.
They'll make it, but that's as far as they'll go. They'll get a wild card pick, and then they'll lose.
Yeah, I get it. All right, Nick, we got 2 more. Nick, I'm gonna go with you. Indianapolis Colts.
See, this is another one where I go, ugh. Do you trust Carson Wentz to lead you the rest of the way? And it's a big question mark right now for me, I believe. I just, you see, here's the thing too. I think if you've noticed, for those of you who've watched the Indianapolis games this year, you've seen the good Carson Wentz and the bad Carson Wentz. And by the bad, I mean trying so hard to make a play. He's throwing stuff from his knees. He's throwing underhanded. He's throwing overhanded. He's trying to sidearm stuff. Like, what are you doing? You are a veteran of this league. Why are you?
He has a running game, right, Nick?
Why are you trying to willy-nilly throw the ball away when you have guys like Jonathan Taylor and 99?
Right, that's what I'm saying. He can run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. He'll be straight.
Yeah. I mean,
we can ride him to the playoffs.
Right. I mean, like, you have the weapons necessary. With Pittman and Hines and Taylor and even the tight end Mo Alley Cox and these guys. Like, you have the talent there. But Carson, it has to start with you, buddy. You have to do whatever you have to do to get out of your head or whatever it is that's in there, my friend. And you need to take this team by the thing and ride them like, Santa's never ridden the sleigh before, because that's the whole thing. And I'm going to be honest with you. They have, to me right now, given the way, I don't know. I just,
they're in the hunt, but they don't have a seat yet. They're just in the hunt.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they're out personally. Like, I'm going to say out right as of this point. But I'm telling you, I just want to see Carson Wentz be the professional and be the pro that he is. I don't, this silly stuff with trying to throw it. Stop.
They got a great running game. They should rely on that.
Right. You have to be able to let your defense do what your defense can do.
Yeah.
Run the ball. What does the run do? The run sets up the pass. So,
exactly. And it helps a quarterback that's struggling. So you're absolutely right.
It does.
But you say out right now, right?
I say out right now.
Okay, nice. And last but most certainly not least, Delilah, the San Francisco 49ers at 4-5.
Jimmy G.
They're out.
They're out?
I can't. I think no, I just can't.
I just can't.
I just can't see, I feel like, no, they're not. I mean, no, they're not. I say no.
Yep. And last one I'll do, Cincinnati. Actually, I think they're out. I think they're out. I think they have a lot of talent, but I think there's just in the AFC, there's a lot of teams kind of doing their thing. I think Cincinnati is kind of be like the Chargers, where they had a good start and they had a good run, but we've seen they're kind of struggling at times. So I'm all about that combination of Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase. I'm all about it. I love it. But they lost, they put up 41 against like Baltimore, and they got stomped by like the Browns or something like that. Like, look, Cincinnati, they're one of these surprisingly good teams. And then when you play one of these big name games, sometimes they look like the Bungles instead of the Bengals. we will definitely see. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're wondering, well, why didn't you talk about Buffalo? Tennessee, KC. Some of these teams we kind of lean towards. We know, you got Green Bay, you got Dallas, Tampa.
Yeah, they're all going.
Right. Even with Arizona and the Rams. That's one of the reasons I asked about San Fran, because they're 4-5. And just like last year at this time, they were just sticking around.
Yeah.
But with Jimmy G and all that stuff, I don't necessarily believe that they can get down. All right. By the by, Roundtable has an official T-shirt. Hey, Anthony has been really trying to get in here and do all those things. So definitely hit him up because I know he wanted to get in touch with you guys about the T-shirt thing that he was doing. So definitely hop.
I will certainly take one, sir. Tell me where I can get one.
So definitely. I think we were gonna have. Oh, you know what? Because Nathan is not with us just yet, so I'm gonna come to Nicholas with Nick's picks. How are we doing though?
Let's just say for those of you who watch baseball and know the vernacular, we drew the collar this week, ladies and gentlemen. 0 for 4 this past week. Very disappointing week in Nickland. So now we sit here, folks, after week 10, 18-22 on the season. Took a huge 0 for 4 last week. So looking to bounce back this week, of course. So here we go. Let's get into this slate of games we got this week. I'm going to remove the glasses because I read better without them. So here we go. First game, ladies and gentlemen. We have the New England Patriots at the Atlanta Falcons. Now, you heard me talk last week that I thought the Falcons would ride that victory, and yet they got hit by the buzzsaw that was the Dallas Cowboys in a very convincing fashion. Now, as I've told you, I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to get on the Mac Jones train here in New England because, as I've told you before, and as I've said on this program, he's in the right program. He's got the right coach and the right system, and he's starting to show that he can play. So New England is giving up 6.5 points to Atlanta, but I do believe that they could do that and beat Atlanta by more than 6.5 points. So I'm going to take New England, game 1, -6.5. Number 2, this game I just find interesting because it involves, and again, I do try to stay away sometimes from teams that we're all involved with, but here's what I call Washington football team is taking on the Carolina Panthers. Mm-hmm. Washington is at Carolina with the return of Cam Newton. Washington is actually favored in this game. No, I'm sorry. Carolina's favored -2.5. Washington is getting 2.5. Now, Sean, I love you to death, man. You're my boy. But I'm going to take the Panthers at -2.5.
I would too.
The Washington football team this week. And I'll be honest, a big reason why is the injury to Chase Young. Yeah. It hurts. Yeah. It hurts. What is the one thing Carolina can do is run the ball.
Yeah.
And the dump offs to McCaffrey. And without a big pass rush from Chase Young, that's going to hurt him. This is my opinion. So for this week, I am taking Carolina -2.5 over the Washington football team. Game number 3. Okay. We just talked about Monday Night Football, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is maybe more of a game where people are like, Nick, you're picking on a weak team. And yes, I kind of am. But San Francisco made an amazing showing on Monday night against against the Rams. And they draw Jacksonville this week at Jacksonville. Now, again, the Jaguars, I know the 2 weeks ago with the win over the Bills, and everybody thought, oh, maybe this, but no. That was 3 field goals against 2 field goals. Mm-hmm. The Jaguars still are struggling to find their offense. They don't really have that great of a defense. So I am going to take San Francisco -5.5 at Jacksonville this week.
Nice.
Now, again, which Jimmy G will we see? Remains to be seen, but I think against that Jacksonville defense, we'll see the Jimmy G who's more like Monday night against the Rams, which are a great defense.
Right.
So that's game number 3. Now, for my last game of this week, ladies and gentlemen, Janae Struther is probably going to be very happy David right as well after I make this next pick. The Cowboys are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And kind of to my surprise, I know they're at home, but Kansas City is favored minus 2.5 points. I'm going to take the Cowboys plus the 2.5 this week against Kansas City because I'm telling you, Dallas is playing well, regardless of how much we all like to give crap to Janae and David for being Cowboy fans, and as much as Jerry and all that other stuff. But let me tell you something: they're playing well, and it's hard to deny.
Yep.
And so I will go ahead and take Dallas plus the 2.5 against Kansas City this week. So there we go, kids. Hopefully we rebound. Like I said, we're currently 18-22 on the season, so technically that makes me a loser. But again, you will always see me smile. I will always get up every morning and shower and eat my breakfast, and I will be just fine.
There you go.
For this week, you got my 4. Enjoy that. Pick them or don't. Doesn't matter because the picks are mine, like it says on the screen there.
Yep,
So anyways, I love you guys. That's where we're going, and hopefully we can get to 500, very soon here. So there you go. Nick's picks for this week.
Nick said, I'm glad Mahomes had his bounce back game, so nobody tries to take this one away from us when we win. Wow, Nick. All right, wow, David.
Yeah,
Wow,
David, don't oversell it, man. You don't have to give us your diehard Cowboy Homer stuff. We know. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. We know how much of a fan you are, right?
He did say preach on picking them, though.
We know.
And it was nice that you picked it.
It's a good game to pick. It's +2. I mean, Dallas is not favored in that game, so they get 2.5 points to start. Like, I really think Dallas has what it takes right now to beat the Chiefs in the current this. Yeah,
this team, yes.
I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. Like, people can whatever, but this week, this game, I think Dallas can take them.
I wonder why they're not favored.
Because Kansas City's at home, I'm guessing. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
That's
Kansas City's at home. Yeah, Kansas City's at home, but they're only giving up 2.5, so the line would. I'm guessing by Friday. Here's the thing too. Remember, I get the lines early, guys.
Right, they change, right?
Yeah.
So by Friday, you could see a little bit of a switch. It could even go to an even, or they could drop this game off.
Right.
Of the betting line totally and just put it, But I think it'll stay around this. I would say, something probably 2.5, maybe 1. Maybe Chiefs move to 1.5.
Yeah.
1, depending. But I get the lines early, so for right now, it's minus 2.5. So I would take the Cowboys plus 2.5.
I agree. I
think so.
I think Mahomes is gonna pass a couple more interceptions that game.
Well, everybody is going to look for Diggs, right? Trayvon Diggs with the interception. That's what everybody's waiting for, right?
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
It should be a good game. I hope it is. Because I think that's one of the
All I want is to Amari Cooper to play so I can get points.
Right. Delilah loves fantasy points.
Okay, listen. Thank you. Thank you, CD Lamb. Thank you, CD, for having a hell of a game this week.
CD Lamb did get hurt, so watch the injury report for CD Lamb.
Oh, no, I didn't want him hurt, though. I just want equal
distribution. I believe he did leave the game with something. Did he not?
Yeah, I think so.
He did but it was. Game, so
but he was
report on that.
Yeah, but he was laughing and smiling, and he was in a sling. So I don't know.
No, I know, but again, he's getting paid for millions of dollars to play a game.
Could be the game of the year,
right,
maybe.
David, let's do that. Calm down.
I kind of agree, man. I kind of agree. We see how good Dallas is. I mean, I hate to say it.
I think
it's gonna be fun.
I hate to say it, but I think this could be. I mean, if both teams from the last week show up.
Right, that's gonna be hell of a game.
Show up, right? If you have the shootout that you could have,
that'll be fun.
That's a possible game of the year candidate, but I don't know if we're gonna see that. We'll see.
Yeah, we haven't seen so many shootouts this season. Not as much as I thought.
Again, a lot of weeks when we're even the games I haven't picked. If you look at a lot of that's why I say parity. People are beating each other. They're circling the wagons. A team that should win this week gets blown out this week. Then they lose this week. Then they come back strong, win this week. Everybody's beating each other this year. It's really crazy. Like I said, even Dallas losing that game badly to Denver,
and then coming back and
beating the tar out of the Falcons. So I mean, it's just there's so much going on this year. You can't call anything. Yeah. It's Dirty Birds, maybe. Nope. Well, let's see here. Just for you, Mr. Handy, your Atlanta Falcons are playing. Let's see here. Who do we got? Atlanta has.
They're playing the
Oh, no,
Patriots.
the New England. Yeah, I gave that game first. Yeah. So no, you don't have a chance. Sorry. I like you. You're my boy, Blue, but you're done.
It's -7, right? Yes,
I have 6.5 listed, right? So 7. If it goes to 7, it might. Like again, by the end of the week, you could have Patriots by 7 or 8. You know, you
-6.5, -7. That's massive. Isn't that like I don't bet, but that's huge, right? If it's -6.5,
it's 7 points. So basically, it's just you have to win by more than that. So they're thinking the Patriots will. That's why the line sits that way. So I'll go with it.
All right, cool.
For now,
I like it. I'm gonna call an audible.
Audible.
We will talk about the Bears Ravens game a little bit later. I didn't want to. We're actually gonna talk about that another time. I did want to go on to one last word on here, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate all your comments. We appreciate you guys getting in here. Zagnif, if he said Chargers, maybe. I think he's going back and looking at some of the picks he had from before.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
I told you I'm 18 and 22. What do you want, man? What do you want here? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
I give you my record every week. You know what I pick. I tell you, I'm honest. I'm an open book, baby.
Oh yeah.
I'm glass.
I like 7 + 2 too. I like it. Okay.
Right. I mean, you take the Falcons with the 7 points. You never know. Maybe you get the Matt Ryan of old this week, and Kyle Pitts decides to catch the ball, and
you never know.
Davis decides.
You never know. Absolutely.
Or something. Who knows?
It could happen. It absolutely could happen.
No, it absolutely could. I agree. It could.
But yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to one last word. Oh shit. Okay. Well, one last word. Delilah, I'm coming to you first. What do you got? One last word.
I'm sorry, that threw me off. I was like, what happened?
Oh.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. I thought we were doing the Nate thing first, and so I didn't prepare. Go to Nick.
All right, Nick, what you got, man?
Well, okay. So again, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I try to put a positive spin on everything that I can. Life is life. We all know that. So that's just going to be my word for today. My last word is positive, guys. Mm-hmm. Let's just be positive, right? Everybody's got stuff going on in life. We all go to work. We all do our things. We all got our struggles, relationships, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And again, we just all have stuff going on. And we come together once a week in these forums like this to entertain each other, to talk to each other, to love on each other, all that good stuff. So let's just keep it positive. That's my word. I love you guys. I love that you chime in. I do. I love that you guys chime in on this. I love that you're interacting with us. You guys want to be a part. Like everybody supports each other here on these things, and that's phenomenal. The chat groups are always blowing up. Everybody, appears on everybody else's show or tries to chime in, and that's phenomenal. That's really, I think we've built a kind of a great little community here with everyone, and that's to me, that's a wonderful thing. And I do, again, I know maybe he'll blush a little bit or something, but I mean, we owe that, Sean is kind of the catalyst for all of this. He had a vision for what he wanted. He wanted to start this stuff, right? He liked talking football with me and Delilah. So he told us, hey, we should do a show, guys. That would be great. And then he got with his guys, who are his Washington guys. They started the Football Weekly. Then you'd added Handy. So then, then him and Sean start doing college football stuff. And then they start doing, you had David and Sydney, they're doing fantasy football stuff. And this is all great. We've all appeared on each other's shows. We've all appeared in other aspects and everybody else's. You know what I mean? So that, to me, that's a wonderful thing. And I'm glad that that's happening. Yeah, we know, David. All you do is talk trash. We know. You're a Cowboy fan. That's all you know how to do. So anyways, love you, man. But that's, so to me, like I said, positive. This is a great thing. Thank you, Sean, for bringing us all together. Because I guarantee you, with this motley crew, I don't think any of us would be here on our own with each other, in the capacity that we are without you, my friend. So, yeah, it's, we probably wouldn't know each other and wouldn't interact as much, but this is fun. I enjoy this every week, and I think, this is a fantastic thing. So thank you, Sean, for bringing us all together. Positive, guys. Stay positive.
Shout out to Wendy on here. Wanted me to show you her. I don't know if you can see it.
Her costume.
Her costume.
Yeah. Miss Packers, we know it. She's sitting here saying,
Yes,
Packers
we know
are in
the
the playoffs
Packers
for
are in
sure.
for sure. We know because you're going to win the
Wow.
NFC North regardless of
Wow.
that. We know. You're
Let's
in.
go. Yo, my
Yeah,
one
you're
last
in.
word, honestly, is just make sure you the weather's changing, so make sure you account for that. Getting colder outside, make sure you wear a jacket, make sure you don't ignore a sniffle or a cough or any of that stuff. So definitely make sure you are getting all your vitamins and all, your immunities and all that stuff. Because, the COVID thing is still around.
Adult chewables, my friend, all the time.
Yep.
Never
and
fails.
also flu season's right around the corner. So definitely make sure you are taking care of your health. Delilah, you got something now?
Yeah, sorry. So like my last word is actually grit. So basically, there's an educator I follow, and basically what they found is students that are the most successful are not necessarily the brightest, because everybody always thinks, it's like the person that move on and be successful. Everybody always thinks that success is measured by the straight A student, honor roll student, thing like that. But really what they found is that grit is the way that you succeed. And grit means that you literally don't stop, right? Like you become that person that kind of learns from your mistakes and moves on and does better and grow, right? But it takes that grit, right? It takes that thing to go, okay, what do I got to do to get ahead? What do I got to do to be successful? What do I got to do to kind of move to the next step? And it's not always going to be easy, right? So it's like, grit is what gets you there. Grit is the key to a lot of success, wherever you might seek it. Is don't stop, don't give up. Right, you have to learn how to. I tell this to my own students. I say, everyone learns from their mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn, you don't grow. So have that grit, guys, to persevere and get past whatever obstacles are in your way, and you will succeed. It doesn't, whatever avenues it is that you think success is, because success is different for different people, right? And so all it is just use that grit to get you there.
Yeah. No doubt. I like that. I like that. So shout out to all of you in the comments. Anthony says Steelers will backdoor their way in. Should they somehow find a way? Hey guys, pay attention to Anthony. He's got a lot of things on his show this week in SEC. He does a lot of stuff with Zagniff Productions. He's got shoe line, he's got clothes, he's got the whole nine.
Okay.
He's definitely doing it, man. I know he was definitely wouldn't mind getting you two on the show with him, because we were joking and laughing. So, and I know, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw Monday, Anthony definitely came on the show. Definitely stole the show. Definitely stole the show. He was preaching. He was doing everything, he was trying to do. So, shout out to him. Yeah, definitely gonna have to set that up. I like that. Bobby said, I love that. Grit is no joke. Yep. David said, preach.
Preach. His word of the day for David is preach.
David said to Anthony, has he ordered any more Dallas gear? If you saw him, he had his Dallas stuff on the show, and it was hilarious. No doubt.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Did he take it off and burn it after the show? Because I'm sure that had to hurt.
He wore it that show. I think he wore it on his other show. Yeah. He wore it on that show. He wore it on his other show that he did. Okay, yeah, he wore it on all the shows that he was doing. So shout out to him. Oh, Bobby saying Bama. Ooh. Wow. He's a Georgia boy, so that's going to be very interesting. Be very interesting. Hey, so ladies and gentlemen, we are so glad that you are here with us today. We hope you liked the show. If you did, definitely come back and join us next week. We will be giving you more news and notes. We will also be addressing the new segment in or out and focusing as we get closer to the playoffs, the teams that actually will be getting in to the playoffs. And, and this new super wild card weekend.
Yeah. Ooh, that's going to be fun, guys.
So that's going to be nice.
We're getting our first Monday night wild card playoff game.
That's going to be interesting for sure.
It'll be good.
For sure. So, hey, there you go. For me, Sean Spencer, there you go. The host of Diversity with Delilah Crespo, and Nicholas, Mr. I Want the Smoke. Rosario.
Have a great week, everyone. Don't forget to tip your mailman. No,
Oh yeah, tip him. Tip him good.
give him a Christmas
Let's
card or
go.
something, right? Leave him some cookies or something. Mailmen they do a thankless job. So,
Oh yeah, very true.
especially
Very
in
true.
these difficult times of COVID, it's become a mess at the post office. So, be nice to your mailman.
All right,
Or
ladies and
lady,
gentlemen.
mail carrier, lady. Don't want to,
We'll
leave
see you
anybody
next
out.
time.